In the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly rise for the national anthem of Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin the ceremony with the auspicious name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for recitation from Holy Quran. I invite Qari Azizur Rahman.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah khair. Honorable Chief Guests, dignitaries from Pakistan and abroad, diplomats, respected guests, faculty members, journalists, my dear student, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. My name is Dr. Ina Siddiqui and it's my pleasure to formally welcome you all in the inaugural ceremony of International Symposium on Excellence in Science, which is basically commemorating the 80th birthday of legendary scientist, one of the most distinguished natural product chemists of the world, Professor Dr. Atta Rahman. The objective of this, of celebrating this event on a mega level is to commemorate the personality and achievement of this legendary scientist of the developing world who made phenomenal contributions in the science and technology capacity building of Pakistan and other developing countries. This is indeed a tribute to the towering personality of Professor Dr. Atta Rahman and token of appreciation to his unparalleled services. To deliver the welcome remarks and felicitation lecture, I request the brightest student of Professor Dr. Taraman and my dear teacher, Professor Dr. Mohammad Iqbal Chaudhary, Director ICCBS, Coordinator General Comstic. Sir, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm not really sure I'm the brightest one, but certainly the one with the longest SSC. 4 decades, 40 years. Many of you were not even born. Even your parents were born close to like 6 years. So this is the longest association, which gives me this advantage of speaking on behalf of all of you. So whatever I'm going to present is the impression, the feeling, the respect of this wonderful personality which has touched our heart and soul and made our life better. This is indeed a tribute to someone who spent all of his life serving the nation and many other nations of the world. It's very, very difficult within 15 minutes and now 40 minutes to speak about his phenomenal contribution. But I try to do that in perhaps not so coherent way. And but the message is that what Professor Atta has done is unparalleled in the history of this country. See, this felicitation lecture is indeed a dedication of our love and affection for him, and our respect for him, which is so profound and eternal that always be with him and with us. This is his 80th birthday, but he is 18 by soul and by nature. And let me show you. And no one of you can really walk with him. You have to run to be with him. Right? So, and you see, I wanted to start with the attributes, because achievements are so much known and so much has been written all over the world about the achievement of Professor Rahman in various capacities. But personality, which is the context which define a person, which eventually lead to this contribution, is very, very important. Now, if you write him an email at 3 o'clock in the morning, you will receive your response, no matter who you are, from a village or a town, or a minister or a common student, 305. So this is the accessibility you would experience with someone for his stature was extremely good. And that is based on his humbleness, humility, and his friendly nature. He has been in a smiling soul all around his life. His principled and delicious. He never compromised on his principle. And those principles are inculcated in the best of ethical values. He upholds merit in everything, no matter what he does. He is all about merit and nothing but merit. Either selection of individual or students or colleagues or vice chancellors on responsible positions and others. This is what he has been throughout his life. The message of Professor Atta is merit, because without merit, nothing will happen. And of course, his mission is excellence, achieving excellence. He's striving constantly for excellence. That is his day after day long struggle throughout his life. His mind is absolutely analytical. You give him a problem, he would sort it out into the reasons. He would be able to give you the analytical view of it, and provide you a solution. So that is the kind of a sharp analytical mind he is blessed with, and he's extremely focused. You know, when he thinks of doing certain things, he would achieve it. You know, no matter what obstacles come in between. Very generous by heart and soul. And there's so many examples which I have written in the book, which are small little book, which I contributed 10 years ago, of my personal reflections of Professor Tawar Khan as my teacher in Urdu, and that is accessible to you whenever you want. Very loving and caring. His love is unending. He really loves people genuinely. He doesn't really pretend, but he just loves people because he thinks that loving people and serving them is actually loving God and serving his creatures. And he's a rare combination of charm and grace. His poise is just unparalleled, you know. So that is some of the attributes. Of course, I can really write books about his personal life. Now, this is me, a very small student of him. But what Nobel laureates have written about him over and over again, many of them. And of course, I wasn't really able to put everything together in this very brief lecture. Professor Dr. Dan Martin says he is without doubt the leading experimental scientist in Pakistan. He has made major contribution to the chemistry. He has made a major contribution to Pakistan science by his organizing and raising fundraising scale. He is the motor which has propelled HEA research and many more. These are Nobel laureates who visited the center, experienced this center, felt its ambience and its excellence, and wrote. You can't really force them to write anything of this sort. This is what their genuine feelings are, and then they attributed this to Professor Darman's contribution, which is the most important contribution, most important recognition one can think of. Many of them. So, and then you can see Professor Darman sitting next to Professor Abdul Salam, our Nobel laureate. This was his last visit to motherland and his last visit to our institution. So he has been with so many of these towering personalities, and they all visited our center, appreciating what Professor Azhar has done for this nation. This is a very important document where again, I mean, if you page after page, and we have a copy of this book in our library, and you will really find signatures of many people from Newton to Charles Bentless and others. And then you see new fellow of Royal Society, Professor Darman, also in Urdu, Ataur Rahman, reflect his love for his culture, his language, and his tradition, writing as a fellow of Royal Society. He is one of the 5 fellows of the Royal Society. Most uniquely, his contributions were made all in Pakistan. So he has this unique distinction of earning fellowship of Royal Society on the basis of the work which he has conducted in Pakistan. And this was an article which we have contributed in a very general and Sargari Bhatt wrote that, and he sent this card. Good luck. You are the best. Very sincerely, Sargari Bhatt. So, and of course, this pictures really touch my heart to the limit because Dr. Salam came for the last time, never visited this place again, his own country, and he came to our center, sat with Professor, discussed the development of this. He is a man of vision. He doesn't really, you can't really, even if you try, you can't involve in trivialities. He goes above that. And he looked towards a mission and a vision. And that is what he has been a strong believer throughout his life, because he believed this 120 million young people of Pakistan is a real asset of the country. He has been a youth-centered. And you students, kindly remember that he has done so much for young people. And that is what he has been trying to do. And then he believed that frontiers of technology you need to generate by yourself. You need to develop your own capacity because these technologies are not available at any cost. And that his mission inspires young people all around the world and gives them a message that they can achieve great things if they try very hard. We often say that you're all made of stardust, which is scientifically correct. So you're all the stardust. You're part of the stars. And then this is the only leader in the history of Pakistan who created a constituency of education. It's very, very important. See, education has been important for this nation. Science has been important. But how many of us were able to create a common mass of people who believe in it and who think that it is important to the nation? He was able to do that. And now there are millions of people who admire the mission of Professor Attar because they believe that the vision of this country and this vision for educated Pakistan is the right vision. He thinks everything doable, no matter what the circumstances is. If he believes in something, he will make impossible possible. That is, and that is the reason why he's never disheartened. So he's inherently optimistic, and it really surprised me. This is one of the most important surprises which I encounter when I talk to him. You know, no matter how gloomy situation is, how bad situation is, he's always focused on a greater mission. Just forget it. Focus on great things, you know, and never lose hope. Continue to work towards the mission. He's a born leader. You can see right from the beginning, he has been example of a leadership with vision, who leads from the front, the one who take the mission and then develop a team who subscribe to his mission. And I've been so fortunate to be part of his team since last 40 years. Honest to his mission, leadership of not only intelligentsia of the country, but common people. So, see, I traveled with him and you go to different airports, even to small functions, even if you walk in Pal Park in Lahore, you will find people coming, common people coming, and he's a celebrity by all definition. So he has been the hero of all of us. And remember that he is a scientist. He is a scientist by training, by attitude, by temperament, and by knowledge. Astonishing depth of and breadth of his knowledge. You know, he just has so much of knowledge. And if you want to make a trade, if you find him a bit sad because of any reason, the best way of cheering him is to ask him a chemistry question. And in 2 minutes, you see this magic work. And in 2 minutes, you would really find his mood change. He become very, enthusiastic. So he made several contributions in the field of organic synthesis, chemistry, spectroscopy, and biochemistry. So much of it, the world literature is full of. He's sitting next to his baby. This baby is 300 megahertz because he has been collecting these babies since 1981. We have 13 of such babies and we keep them running. And these babies run at minus 269 degrees centigrade, an absolute, close to absolute zero. And for that, liquid helium, liquid nitrogen, full ambience and ecosystem which is required to run these sophisticated instrumentations are built by them. And then you can easily recognize this young German scholar who used to come to the center before COVID every year to learn chemistry and biochemistry. So he dreams, and he dreams big. And he asks us to dream big also, because he thinks that people who can't dream can never do anything big. So you dream and then you work towards realizing those dreams. And those were some of his dreams, you know. Pakistan satellite in space. 60 years we didn't have any satellite in space. He put this satellite in space, Pakistan. 169 universities from only 70. Over 20,000 PhD scholars were sent abroad. Foreign universities, established expansion of continental shelf. This is very little known to you that our country expanded from 200 nautical miles to 350 nautical miles to the upper Pacific. So we added another province of Balochistan in our territory, and that is called continental shelf of the country. And then, of course, very many more. It's very, very difficult for me to tell you about his dreams, which he was able to bring them to reality. Dreams come true. Very clear and concise. So if you want to go and talk to him, you need to select the words. No hanky-panky, no nonsense. Okay, he will tell you, you want to talk to me, you have 15 seconds. So 15 seconds, you are able to say anything to him or you go there. Concise, absolutely. If you want to talk to him, you have to be brief and precise. And that is what he believes, precision and brevity. More action than words. Keep working all the time for a greater mission, selflessly. I've seen him very honestly, often not so good in health, but his enduring spirit to do something for the country is absolutely unending and absolutely unabated. And that he has this out of the box thinking. You bring the most difficult problems to him, he will find a solution, which works, you know. So he has this tremendous capacity of the out of the box thinking. And you're very kind, supportive, and a gentle person. So I want to show you this picture. You can recognize me here, right? I used to have hairs like this, and I used to wear jeans when I joined the Taliban. So he's an angel who touches your heart with gentleness, holds your hand, and walks you through the success. That is what he has been doing all around. And you can also recognize this. 28-year-olds, the old Iqbal in Jordan, and he came to meet me there in Ithaca, New York. We went to Thousand Islands. Since then, we had hundreds of islands and thousands of islands. It was symbolic because we went to visit this Thousand Islands close to New York. And then, of course, this Thousand Islands symbolizes so many of these adventures we have done together. And in many of them, we were successful. Even if we were failed, he said, we learned a lesson. We'll do better like next time. Humble and down to the earth. Great human attributes. Okay, that is the type of personality you don't even know, because many of you doesn't really have this much of time to interact with him. But the fact is, he's very witty, very fun-loving, and I can give you an example.
You have 1 minute left.
see, this is what he wanted to do. And let me tell you that I planned it already because the next section has been reduced from 25 to 17 minutes for my end. And I just tried to finish it. So I'll just give you one example of his ingenuity. We were trying to buy a 600 megahertz machine, and he discovered that we can get 2 500 machines instead of one 600 machine. And then he sent me to Islamabad. I was sitting to a very proud officer of the division. He said, no, you can't leave this home. And I called him and he said, very simple, just tell him that you're getting 1,000 instead of 600. He said, how come? He said, for 2 500 and 1,000. So when it's we are buying 1,000 megahertz. And he said, how come you can buy it in the price of 600? I said, they're doing it. He said, good, shabash. And I think this is and then Kali Saga. इसको click करें.
पिंजरे के पंछी रे
But it has a story. We went to Pakistan, the first official delegation to newly independent separation state. And we were sitting there, and tradition called it dinner is about like 4 hours, and everybody goes and then drink. Of course, we were all drinking our orange juice and water, and and then everybody was supposed to sing. None of us dared to sing, and he said, "I will do that." And he sang that song, and then translation of this amazingly sad song. And then we saw 35 Omukazi ladies were crying. And I took this phenomenal picture of so many of these ladies crying on this beautiful song, and even more beautiful translation of Chazata. And of course, amazing capacity to understand and read the situation with speed. You know them? We saw Professor Mudardi Ahmed and Professor Darumar in 1976, Bahawalpur. And then you see he's very creative. So he became the Chief Minister, Minister of Science and Technology and Information Technology, Federal Minister. He placed this big clock in front, which was a reverse clock. So he had like 2 years to achieve certain things, and this clock was running backward. And when visitors used to come, he said, "Don't waste my time, see this clock." And he would turn back and say, "Thank you." And then, so he has done a lot of these very, very phenomenal things. Okay, a great teacher, good teacher impart good education, great teacher groom their students and to become leader, organizing teachers, directors along the right path. Great teacher encourages us to discover our own path. That is what he has done for our children. And this is Professor Tarun's section. You know me? This is me, right? And this is me as well after 60 years. And then you need to put, this is a simple chemistry reaction. You don't need to heat or pressurize or add some toxic solvent or catalyst. You just need to do these reagents at room temperature. And then you get something like this at the end. You don't even need to purify it, it comes here. Of course, there are so many centers with international recognition all around. So this is Professor Darwan Center in Malaysia, King of Malaysia, This is a center which was established in Jamshid, in China, Professor Darwan Center for Traditional Medicine Research. This is Professor Darwan Center in us. And so there are so many other contributions. I don't have time, and I know that if I continue, he would actually grab me and bring me down. So I'll just end my presentation by saying that he has made phenomenal contribution. And I think the best way of celebrating the scientists to have a science conference. And this is what we have done. So this is the inauguration of science conference in which we have very distinguished colleagues and our Vice Chancellor with us. Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor. Thank you for your presence here. This reflects your love for Professor Tan and your support for us. He has made phenomenal contribution in the field of science, and his contribution have helped to shape natural product chemistry from a conventional science to a modern science. Okay, so key to success: clear vision, sincerity of purpose, total belief of mission, hard work, knocking as many doors as needed, persistent and preserve, and persevere in the face of difficulties, ever smiling, break. And that is what is one of the outcomes of that. We have been rated as one of the fastest growing country in terms of scientific publication. And this was the email he sent me, but let me just finish. As a scientist and a thinker, he will always be active and remain an inspiring personality in many years to come, inshallah. As a patriot of the enduring spirit, he will continue to guide this great nation in its pursuit of dignity and prosperity. Let's celebrate with Azada. साल में ये अपनी विनोदी प्रवृत्ति है बड़ी मुश्किल से होता है so but maybe the further translation for colleagues who cannot read Urdu. Professor Darman, happy birthday, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we have also prepared a small humble tribute in the form of a slideshow. Let's have a look. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, as we know that Professor Rahman has been instrumental in creating very strong international and national linkages for the promotion of science and technology in the region. Many of his co-workers have actually traveled to Pakistan to attend this historic event, and many of them have sent their recorded messages. At the first place, I request Sadia Rashid Saiba, President Hamdard Foundation, Pakistan, to share her views. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest, Professor Dr. Mukhtar, Chairman, Higher Education Commission, Pakistan, is also here. Sir, I welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, would you like to say anything? Now.
I think I can wait. I can listen first to other people, and whenever you say, I am available.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So, as per plan, I request Dr. Sadia Rashid Saiba, President Hamdard Pakistan, to share her views.
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm a late addition to this program, but unfortunately speaking, I'm the first one to speak. So Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear friends of science, education, and Dr. Rahman. 80 years ago, a mother went into labor. Little did she know that the child would be one who would still be laboring 80 years later. If parents who have passed on shall continue to follow their children's careers, she must be a very proud mother today. Not just because he has been awarded so many honors, but both nationally and internationally, but because his life has made such a difference for the better in so many lives. What more can anybody hope for? Hamdard Pakistan's founder, Shaheed Hakeem Mohammad Said, on Dr. Ataur Rahman's 50th birthday, had printed a felicitation volume in his honor. 30 years later, his daughter is presenting felicitations that cannot be counted, plus prayers, plus every good wish possible. May Dr. Ataur Rahman, may Allah continue to bless you and bless the world through you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam. I now request very eminent scientist, Professor Dr. Alan Cleave, University of Limburg, Belgium, to share his views.
I have to take a piece of paper because I have to read some word that came from me in 2019 from the late Professor Wolfgang Walter, who wrote some word about what happened to him long ago. But I would like, first of all, to tell you that I'm so pleased to be with you today, as I have been 30 years ago, and I have been often here collaborating, and every time being surprised by the success and the change in the right direction. Let me first quote the late Professor Wolfgang Walter, who wrote to me in 2019, 3 or 4 months before he passed away. I met Professor Ataur Rahman the first time at the Department of Chemistry, University of Karachi, Pakistan, in September 1974, in the recently opened tiny laboratory of Professor Siddiqui, who had hired his young colleague from Cambridge University. The fascinating personality of Professor Ataur Rahman convinced me to start a collaboration with his group, and a remarkable story began. Professor Ataur Rahman is indubitably one person that has made a greater impact on the quality of education and research across the whole Afro-Asian than anyone else that I can think of. Let me now give my own impression. It has been a fantastic journey with someone who was able since 1970 to act in systems thinking that is broadly and all integrated rather than on isolated domain, and created almost from scratch this fantastic complex devoted to research and to education that bring together scientists from various disciplines and different countries and different thinking. I have appreciated his high scientific knowledge, his creativity, his capacity to mix concept with related successful actions, his scientific pugnacity, and his remarkable availability and sense of communication. I'm extremely happy to be present today, as I was 20 years ago at its 60th birthday anniversary, to honor the person, the scientist, and one of my best friends for all what he has done from the world, of course, and for his country. I bring you small chocolate.
Thank you so much, Professor Aaron. Now we have a recorded message from Professor Dr. Harun Hamid, University of Cambridge, UK. He's a close friend and colleague of Professor Dr. Atta Rahman.
I am Harun Ahmed, professor at Cambridge University, and today I would like to wish my friend, Dr. Atta, a very happy 80th birthday and many happy returns. I've known of him for more than 50 years, from the time he came to King's College at Cambridge University to start a PhD degree. From the beginning, his work was considered outstanding, and eventually his dissertation was considered to be of such high quality that he was awarded a fellowship at King's College, which is a rare distinction in itself. In the fullness of time, his reputation as a scientist grew to a very high level, and eventually he was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society, which is a very high distinction in the United Kingdom and across the world. I started working with him when he made the proposal while he was chairman of HEC to found universities in Pakistan on the basis of European universities, and these European universities would award European degrees within Pakistan. This project, this far-sighted project, took off, and we worked together for many years with my many visits to Pakistan, his visits to Cambridge, and very many enjoyable trips to European capitals for negotiations. His enthusiasm and dedication to the project ensures that at long last one university is working and many other universities are on their way. His dedication to Pakistan is unparalleled, and I'm proud and honored to have worked with him for many years. Many happy returns, Dr. Atta.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor George Messi from France has shared his memories of Sir Atta Rahman, and we have a recorded video. Let's take a look.
Hello, everyone. Ina asked me to say a few words for the 80th birthday of Professor Atta. Where are you, Atta? Oh, I see you. And Iqbal is not far away. So, howdy, Atta. Hello, Iqbal. My first memories of Atta are from the time of my thesis. It's a long time ago. I was in GIF, and in GIF we were interested in the Vinca alkaloids, the dimers. And we knew that there was somebody in Cambridge working on those, and who gave the hypothesis of catharantin being part of the dimer, being part in the biosynthesis of the dimer. And that was quite new and also unexpected. So Atta should be credited for being the first one to write in a paper that catharantin was at the origin of the VLB and vincristine and so on. He had a patent on that. Poche also had a patent on that, and Poche devised a practical method to make them. And that was copied by Kutney afterwards. But we knew that there was also a patent in Pakistan on this alkaloid, and that Atta held the rights of these patents. After GIF, I moved to Reims, and Reims was a place for alkaloids. And we know what was going on in your country, not with the name of Atta, but mainly we knew the Siddiquis for their work on the Rovolfia alkaloids. And we knew that the address was the HEG Institute. So that was quite familiar to us. I had to wait until, I think, 1988 to meet Atta in person. And that was, believe it or not, in Nairobi, Kenya, where there was a meeting of East African chemists and phytochemists. I said, what do I remember of Atta at this time? I remember that we were on a tour to see animals in a reservation south of Nairobi, or south of Nairobi. And we were, of course, all of us interested in the landscape and looking for the animals. And Atta was not, apparently was not. Atta was correcting proofs of a book. He had the nose on the book and he was correcting proofs. And frequently, as a student, he would raise his hand and say, well, this is a giraffe, and come back to his book. And a few minutes later, oh, an elephant. And he would go back to his book. So that's the first and oldest memory I had from Atta. I think we met a few years later when I was at the CNRS. Atta was negotiating a big grant with the French government. And one of the things he wanted to buy from France was a new Bruker instrument with a cryoprobe. I'm not sure at that time we called that a cryoprobe. That was quite the beginning of that, and I am not sure it was on the market yet. So Atta knew that cooling the probe would improve the capacity of the instrument, was proved true. Then I think I was invited to Karachi. That was probably about 10 years later, after 1995. Iqbal would correct me. In fact, Dr. Sevene was invited by Jean-Marie Lehn, our Nobel Prize in Chemistry, to give a look and write a report on an institute that was in Karachi. It was probably not known as ICCBS at the time, but that was the spot, and probably it was only the HEG Institute at that time. And Sevene didn't want to travel all by himself, and he asked me, George, would you come along? And that was our first visit to Karachi, and we looked at the institute, discussed with the people, wrote a report, which was don't have the report anymore, but must have been elogious, since the institute received a grant from the Swedish. What I must say that Atta is a talented person. He has the talent of directing people, giving them general direction, always for the best of them, the best of the country. And really, I enjoy meeting and speaking with Atta, and I hope that will continue for long. Goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in a not too distant future. Bye.
Now I invite Professor Dr. Rafat Ali Siddiqui, USA, for his comments.
Right. Well, assalamu alaikum and good morning. Well, happy birthday, dear Dr. Rahman. Happy 80th birthday. Well, it's really an honor and a privilege to be here to celebrate your birthday today with you. I was asked to say something briefly about your scientific contribution, but I thought that, man, briefly, it's going to take a lot more time. So I thought that I'd probably describe, my interaction with you. So I sat down and started writing words to describe you. And when I started putting those words down, and soon I ran out of words. There are so many, so I said maybe I can narrow down to some few specific words, but still I wanted to find one word to describe you. And what I found is that basically, you are a visionary. And I found that Dr. Rahman, basically, he can see things like when nobody even think about it. And not only that, he has the quality that he kind of visions something and he turns his vision into reality. And I'll give you an example, like when he was a Minister of Science and Telecommunication, he brought revolution in telecommunication industry. I'm not sure how many you know that we have a problem with telephone that you have to get a landline, you have to wait about 10 years. Anyway, now everybody has a cell phone. But I think the biggest accomplishment of his is the creation of Higher Education Commission of Pakistan. And you can, this actually, the data, this is the result, which is remarkable. It is really downplayed here in Pakistan, but this actually shows that if you make the right, vision and right policies, you can achieve, the goals. Like, we surpassed in scientific publication within 10 years, when the HEC was created. We surpassed publication, in India. We try to usually compare ourselves with India, and actually there's no comparison. India is 4 times in size, 6 times in population. We should not be really comparing. But, by surpassing in scientific publication is a great achievement. And this is the data which is actually published by international agencies. Well, the one thing I found with Dr. Abdul Rahman is that he's really, is a very, very fast thinker. I mean, I sometimes feel that, I think very fast, but I realized that, even I'm absorbing the information, he's getting the conclusion. So he is really, a great thinker. Perhaps I think he's using every single neuron in his brain, which we probably have another kind of ability. One other thing I found is that, he has a remarkable memory. He can remember things, and you can ask him something which is done like 50 years ago, he will bring pretty quickly. So he is really a human form of a supercomputer. Well, we are very blessed to have him here, and I think God has really blessed us to have Dr. Abdul Rahman, and the things he has done to Pakistan. I think I think need to clone him, because there won't be another person for a long time of the capabilities that he has. So, Dr. Rahman, wish you all the best. May Allah bless you with a long and a healthy life. Looking forward to your 100th birthday celebration, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now we have a short video from Professor Dr. Christian Badger. Although he is here, but we do have his recorded message to you.
So, dear Professor Ataur Rahman, for your birthday, your special anniversary birthday, I wish you in person, from my heart, and on behalf of my university, the University Hamburg, Germany, all the best and everything imaginable. I wish you, for you, health and happiness first, to be with you as before. Good luck and many blessings on all your ways with your friends and colleagues in science and education. Just to mention, the background figure you are seeing is a papain-like protease from coronavirus with the natural compounds bound in the active site region, natural compounds obtained from the center in Karachi from your colleagues. Again, I wish you from my heart a very nice and happy celebration day of your birthday and for your birthday. Thank you.
Sir, I would like to mention that many of your Chinese friends has actually sent messages for your birthday, but because of time constraint, I cannot play them all. I will share those with you later. And now we have another very talented student of Professor Dr. Ataur Rahman with us today, Professor Dr. Amal Al-Arudi from University of Jordan. I request her to kindly come and share her views. Your Excellencies, honorable guests, dear friends, brothers and sisters, what a nice morning. I'm so happy to be here, and I feel really honorable to share this moment, for this occasion means a lot to me as for many of you, celebrating really a person that we consider a mentor and an inspiring person. Let me just quote Professor Atta. It is only by lighting the flame of others that we can illuminate our own soul. This is not only a saying by Professor Atta. This is a lifetime experience. This is something that he did every day. He lightened the life of thousands of people, young scientists. He inspired us all in the way he lived. He led by example. I first met Professor Atta. That was a very lucky day of my life. I didn't realize how lucky I was. But that was maybe let me say, that was in the late 80s, but that was maybe in 1988, when he first visited the University of Jordan. He came to give a series of talks about 2D NMR. At that time, 2D NMR was new. And since that time, we started the collaboration. I started to be a frequent visitor to HAJ, and I noticed the progress. And every time I'm here, I just saw the progress that was happening in HAJ. So during those visits, not only I gained knowledge, science, experience, but the most important of all, I gained a lifetime friendship. I consider myself here, I have another family. And really, I miss coming here always. I'm so happy of being back here in this very nice occasion. I learned a lot while I was just coming and going. I've learned how to let the statistics work for me, to have confidence. I learned how to strive for excellence. And most of all, to smile whenever I fail. And to be very grateful and thankful and kind to others. Thank you, Professor Atta, for giving me that chance of being part of this very big family. I'm so proud to see that HAJ and all the centers are really growing with the same flame, with the same leadership of Professor Iqbal. This is a great success to have the second generation. Professor Atta's flame is still growing in the coming generation, just like a stone hitting a beautiful lake with those very nice waves coming one after the other. Professor Atta, on behalf of all your friends in Jordan, I wish you happiness, success, and a joyful life, and a very happy birthday.
Thank you so much, madam. And now we have combined messages from Syed Aftab Zaidi Sahab, a very close colleague of Saratar Rahman from Comstek, Professor Akram Sheikh Sahab, a friend of Saratar Rahman, and Professor Dr. Nanik Siti Amina from Indonesia.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Aftab Zaidi, and I work as Senior Director HR and Administration in Comstek. Today, I feel honored to share with you the contributions of Professor Ataur Rahman for promotion of science and technology in the OIC region as Coordinator General of Comstek. I was introduced to Professor Ataur Rahman in July 1996 when he was appointed Coordinator General of Comstek. He had 4 successive terms and held the office till June 2012. During this period, Comstek went through an amazing transformation and became a vibrant organization across the OIC region. benefiting scientists, researchers, and students of 57 OIC countries. I would like to convey my best wishes and prayers to Professor Ataur Rahman on his 80th birthday and pray for a long and healthy life. Thank you very much.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nani Siti Aminah. I'm professor on natural product chemistry from the Department of Chemistry, Faculty of Science and Technology, Universitas Erlangga, Surabaya, Indonesia. Professor Dr. Ataur Rahman, a very big name, idol of young chemists around the world. His extraordinary work in the field of chemistry, especially natural product chemistry, be a role model for chemists of the next generation. The Excellency Professor Dr. Ataur Rahman, on behalf of Universitas Erlangga, Indonesia, I would like to wish you a happy birthday. May Allah bless your age, blessing, million of blessing. Your birthday is blessing. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Professor Atta, much that I would have liked to attend this ceremony and pay my best wishes and warm tributes personally to Pakistan's icon, Professor Ataur Rahman, the most celebrated scientist, intellectual, and thinker of our time. It was not possible for me to travel to Karachi. I pray for your healthy, long, and productive life so that you can continue to provide guidance and intellectual leadership to many more generations. Dr. Atta is a man of principles with ingrained Islamic value system, which I believe have always remained a touchstone to authority for all his actions. Spread over decades, Professor Atta's commitment and contribution to Pakistan's development as a science and technology-driven knowledge economy is truly inspirational.
Okay. Now we have this very special and close associate of Senator Rahman, Mr. Mahmood Alam Sahib. I request him to kindly come and share his views.
I'm very grateful to Dr. Iqbal sir who has given me a chance to speak here. I think Dr. Iqbal has already said a lot and other speakers about Professor Rahman. I feel I'm the luckiest person who born for Dr. Ataur Rahman, and I'm especially say thanks to God because I am associated with his all activities, and especially I would like to mention here the book which he is editing with the ISES Science Publishers, Studies in Iccbs Chemistry. If you see, already we have published about 75 volumes. 75 volumes have already been published, and you will find my name in all those books. Till today, I think Professor Rahman has written or edited 254 books, and I think my name is available in 250 books. So, Doctor, I cannot say anything because this is your kindness who allowed me to work with you. May Allah give you a long life with health and happiness. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you so much. Sir, even I'm in shortage of time, but I cannot resist this video playing because someone has made it with lots of affection and love. So please take a look on this surprise video.
Dear brothers and teachers, Professor Atta, I'm in the Beijing office and I'm with my student to celebrate your 8th birthday in Beijing, China. I met you in 2004, which I visited ICCBS first time. At that time, you was the chair of Higher Education Commission of Pakistan. You and your student, Iqbal, host us warmly, make us stay at home. In the past 20 years, under your conditional support, more than 30 university, institute, hospital, and company from China and Pakistan established cooperation in the field of traditional medicine. Due to your understanding, achievement to promote of cooperation in science and technology between China and Pakistan, you win the highest reward of Chinese international cooperation in science and technology in 2019. In 2020, National Administration of G7 of China established Sino-Pakistan Cooperation Center on Traditional Chinese Medicine. I'm proud you and Brad Iqbal are nominated as co-director from Pakistan. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your strong and untiring support to me and my team to cooperation in the traditional medicine. As you can see, now our younger generation have been growing. I'm sure they will carry on and pass on our brother and sisters friendship between China and Pakistan. Happy birthday and good health to you.
Happy birthday! 生日快乐!
Professor, you actually celebrated your birthday in Beijing office. Okay, so with this, I would like to mention that, sir, we have received many messages, recorded videos, and there they have all become the part of the felicitation book because of time, we cannot play them all here. So now I request Professor Dr. Muhammad Iqbal Chaudhry Sahab to kindly come on the stage and present the felicitation book, and I request all the dignitaries to kindly join sir and presenting the book.
So,
Marine and you, please.
yeah.
Here is a season. The book contains messages, captions, and many of collaborators, co-workers of Salatul Rahman. This includes messages from Dr. Rahman also. With this, I request now the birthday boy, Professor Dr. Rahman, Patron in Chief, ICCBS, for his lecture.
Come back.
Why don't you sit here?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Wow, that's all I can say. WOW. I don't have words to thank everybody who's made these comments about me. So all I can say is thank you. Thank you everybody for, I feel greatly touched and humbled for all the remarks that have been given about me. I'll just share a few slides here. This, I am grateful for the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for whatever little I've been able to achieve. The constant support. I was the only child. I didn't have any brothers or sisters. My father happened to be an industrialist, but he allowed me to go and follow my own path in education and research. And the constant love and support that I received from my parents, they helped greatly in my earlier grooming. My wife, she's not here, she wasn't too well today. And my children, some of my sons are here today. So I'm grateful for all of them for the constant support that they have given. This institute is a team effort. It all started with a dream of the late Professor Salim Muzammar Siddiqui. And he made seminal contributions to organic chemistry, to natural product chemistry. And he lives on in this institute. His spirit lives on in this institute. And I try to contribute in my own small way. And then Iqbal, mashallah, has come in and he's kept the flame burning, as Dr. Amal said. And so it's a team effort where all of us, especially the faculty, the students, the technical staff, all of us have worked together and continue to work together as a team to take this institute to greater heights. The contributions of our donors, Mr. Latif Ibrahim Jamal, his son Aziz Jamal, Nada Palmani Saiba. So this is a public-private partnership where private donors have come in a big way and contributed to the development. The HEJ building, for instance, is a contribution from the Hussain Ibrahim Jamal Foundation, that family. My supervisor, John Harley Mason, he was at Cambridge. He helped to groom me, to help me grasp the basics of organic chemistry more firmly. And of course, Iqbal, he's been the central piece, and God works in strange and serendipitous ways in opening new paths. And the discovery of Iqbal was that he has carried on my dream and continue to develop this further with his own dreams and with his own actions. So that is there. There have been a number of ICCBS colleagues. Some of them are not with us. Professor Vikaruddin Ahmed, Professor Zafar Zaidi, who was also the former Vice Chancellor. They are no longer with us, but they made major contributions, and other faculty members, Professor Bina, Abdul Malik, and other colleagues. So it's the faculty has played a very critical role. The technical staff, very important. In a developing country, one often ignores the importance of electronic engineers and technical staff, high quality technical staff, starting from the late Habib Ahmed, who's not with us, Javed Iqbal, Suhail Ahmed, and Yaqub John, Gul Rahim, Sarfraz, and others. They have kept this. There are 6 electronic engineers in this institution. And I think one of the hallmarks of this institution is that we are proud of the way our instruments are run and maintained by our high quality technical staff. In a developing country like Pakistan, that those are often ignored, but they have absolutely a vital role to play. So we are probably the only institution in the world, I may be wrong, but probably this is what I've been told by the spectroscopy companies, where we have a 40-year-old mass spectrometer, Varian Math 311, that was obtained 40 years ago, which is still functioning beautifully and giving spectra. The spare parts stopped being made about 25, 30 years ago, but this is still functional. And the same applies to many of our other instruments. If you visit us, you'll find all instruments very nicely functional because of the high-level technical staff that we have in the institute. So they have made a major contribution to the development of this institution. Mahmoud Alam, you have just heard from him. He's been with me throughout the beginning, and he's still with us. And thank you, Mahmoud, for all your efforts that you have contributed, not only in the Elsevier series and studies in natural product chemistry, but in many other ways, 75 volumes of which have been published during the last 30 years. The ministries, I must not, because I was also the Minister for Science and the Minister for Information Technology and Telecom and the Minister for Education. So the secretaries who work with me, Javed Masood Saab, Ashfaq Mahmood Saab, Abu Shami Marif, and so on. And very important, the Higher Education Commission. We had Dr. Sohail Naqvi, who played a seminal role, Dr. Akram Sheikh before him, who was also the Executive Director, and Dr. Mukhtar Ahmad. Thank you, sir, for being the chief guest today, joining us from Islamabad. He is now the chairman of the Higher Education Commission, and he's keeping the torch burning. So we worked together during those days in the early 2000s. And so thank you for all your efforts which brought HEC to great heights. And the new universities that I'm establishing, Harun Ahmad, Professor Harun Ahmad at Cambridge, you have heard from him. Professor Mujahid is here. He's the rector of the Pakistan Austrian University. Nasir Ali Khan, Shoaib, Bakar Mahmood, these are all colleagues, and there are others who have worked to establish these new European and Chinese universities in Pakistan. This is the future, so they on which we are working on. The Comstech staff, I was for 16 years heading Comstech also, and Aftab Ali, you and other colleagues, thank you for your kind words, have made major contributions. But the heart of the institute has been our students who have worked, toiled hard, and they deserve all the awards and prizes that have been received. Besides, in addition to Professor Iqbal, you have Dr. Zahir, Iltifat Hassan, Shaji Anjum, Sohail Malik, Fatma Basha in Chicago, and there were another 200 students. 83 of them completed PhDs, and others did MPhil degrees under my supervision. So major contributions from them. International collaboration are many. From the US, we have had Professor Maurice Shamma. Part of it is concealed, I'm afraid. So Maurice Shamma, John Clary, and Rafa Siddiqui Saab is here. Philip Lequain from Turkish colleagues, Bilge Şener, Bulaci Topçu, Ehan Uluberen, and many others. From Jordan, we have Dr. Amar Alaboudi here, Salim Sabri, Musa Buzarga, and others. From Germany, the late Professor Snatzke, Professor Ifner, Zeller, Betzel, Sumda, and others. But very importantly, Professor Folter, Wolfgang Folter. He made seminal contributions right from the beginning, and in his name, we have constructed a huge research center as part of our institute, the Wolfgang Folter Institute of Scientific Research. And some of you that you're here may want to visit that. So he laid the foundations. From China, Professor Wang Bai, Jinmin Lu, and the president of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, Chun Li Bai. Belgium, Professor Alan Piet, you're here. And from Austria, Professor Michael Rode. He unfortunately died just very recently. But he was a wonderful man and made major contributions. And Professor Amin Chua from Greece, of course. Ionis is here. Thank you, Ionis. UK colleagues include from Sussex. We had £1 million grant from the UK. So David Walton and Jim Hansen, sorry, that's a spelling error, Jim Hansen, and of course Swedish colleagues, Lars Bolin and others, you have Ute Romling here with us. So it has been a huge effort, international effort, a national effort. Many Nobel laureates have been involved in the development of this institute, including Farid Murad, who continues, he is now at Stanford, and we continue to write a series of books on herbal drugs. So Derek Barton, Jean-Marie Lane, Alexander Todd, Ryoji Nouri, Robert Huber, Richard Ernst, very importantly, training our people, and Boothrish in NMR, training our people in the field of NMR spectroscopy. Boothrish was involved in training Dr. Atia on our NMR spectroscopy. The Elsevier group of people for the various books, ICCBS faculty, ITS staff, Mahmood, Rehana, Amreen, Qasid, Faizan, Azhar, Uruj, and others. Very importantly, Hakim Saab, Hakim Muhammad Saeed, right from the beginning, he was very closely involved in the development of our center, and we worked on many books together also. And now, Sadia Saiba, thank you for your kind presence and for your remarks that you made. Dr. Ishtiaq Hussain Qureshi, he was instrumental in my development, earlier development, when I was a student and passed out. He was my mentor and guide, and he helped me earlier in the development of my career. And Professor Iltifaq Ali, and we have Dr. Khalid Iraqi Sahab, you are here, very deeply grateful for your kind support to the development of this center. And very importantly, the President and Prime Minister of Pakistan, President Musharraf, a wholehearted support when I was a Minister for Science, leading to a 6,500% increase in the development budget of science and technology of Pakistan, and later a 3,500% increase in the budget of higher education of Pakistan. These are huge figures. For the first time, the directions of the country changed, because I managed to convince them that the future of this nation lies in the 100 million plus young people. The future lies in our children. It's only through knowledge, through quality education, that we can develop as a nation, and that's our real wealth. And that is what I have tried to do in the government, and which I continue to do till today. And Imran Khan, the former Prime Minister Imran Khan, he made very important contributions to the development of this country through forming a number of task forces, including the Knowledge Economy Task Force, which was headed by me. And that has led to, again, huge changes taking place. Some of them maybe will become visible in the next 5 to 10 years as they crystallize. This institute, firstly, there are 3 things I just want to focus on very quickly. This institute, 2 Fellows of Royal Society, 1 UNESCO Prize, 28 civil awards from the government, including the highest civil award, numerous DSCs from foreign universities, including the University of Cambridge, and a number of other awards and prizes, including recently the Mustafa Prize from Iran. But this, I think, is a relatively small institute with about 80 or so faculty members, some 600 students getting PhD, annual budget of only about $4 or $5 million. That's very, very small budget for the size of this institution. Only $4 or $5 million. A significant portion of it goes to give over 500 scholarships to all our students who are studying here. That's a very key feature. We support every student who is doing PhD here with scholarships. So that is the first thing. This slide was shown by Dr. Rafat. I think that's the impact that what I was fortunate to have on the landscape of science and research in Pakistan. This is Pakistan versus India. Is number of publications per 10 million population. So per capita research output. In the year 2000, it was 44 versus 172. Pakistan is green, India is purple. So we were about 400% behind India. Then we sent thousands and thousands of students abroad. This is taken from the Web of Science. The data from Scopus is very similar, and this started changing. And this is the year 2020, and we are about 10 or 12% ahead of India per capita. In actual numbers, we are about 6-fold behind. So in actual numbers, we are not ahead. It's only on a per capita basis that it has increased, but still, it is a significant increase. And this became possible because of all the reforms that we brought in through the Higher Education Commission, and Dr. Mukhtar and I and Suhail Naqvi We all worked together. Dr. Akram Sheikh, fortunately, was at that time in the planning commission, and that also he played a critical role in that happening. And so Michael Rode, who was then the chairman of the UN Commission on Science, Technology and Development, wrote that there's no other country in the world which has seen such spectacular developments. And then Thomson Reuters came out with an article headed "Another Brick, BRIC, in the Wall." And it talked about that Pakistan has emerged as the country with the highest percentage of highly cited papers as compared to the BRIC countries. This is so there were some exciting things happening. Number of our universities at that time became ranked amongst the 300, 400, and 500 of the world in the Times higher education rankings. And there were a number of editorials written by 4 editorials in Nature. One, for instance, which was on 2007, was entitled "The Paradox of Pakistan." And it talked about all the problems and difficulties that this country is having, and yet the paradox is that there is some exciting developments taking place in the higher education sector, which is changing the landscape of higher education and science in the country. And detailed reports from the World Bank, USAID, and the British Council. So that was the second part. The first part was this center. The second part was the impact that we tried to have on the landscape of higher education and science, and now looking at the future. And this is, I was trying to set up these new universities, and we had a large number of projects approved. The Pakistan German and Austrian universities in Lahore, the Pakistan Italian, French and Korean in Karachi, the Chinese in Islamabad, the Swedish in Sialkot, etc. And Professor Mujahid, who is here today with us, sitting in the front row, he is the rector of the Pakistan Austrian University. We were working together along with Professor Harun Ahmad at Cambridge on these new universities, but then there was a change of government and all that evaporated. So I spoke to Prime Minister Imran Khan before he became the Prime Minister, and a project was therefore approved for the Pakistan Austrian University, which is in fact a very interesting university. It is a hybrid university. Half of it is a Fachhochschule for training people at bachelor's and master's level, and the other half is 5 centers of excellence, postgraduate research, so what you call technical universities in Germany and Austria. So it's a hybrid of a Fachhochschule and a technical university with a large technology part. So this one is now operational and doing very well, and now we have another university being built in Sialkot and a third one which is under development in Islamabad. So that is something that is going on right now, and there are various partner universities. It's also probably the first university in the world where 8 foreign universities will be eventually offering their degrees. So these will be, so you have dual degrees. Students studying in one department will get degree from one foreign university. Students studying in another department will get a degree from another foreign university. And the idea basically was mine. It was quite simple. How do you eat an elephant? Bit by bit. So it's very difficult to convince a foreign university to set up an entire university in a country like Pakistan. But if you ask them, can you help in setting up one department? The answer is yes, that is much easier. So what we have done is we have foreign godfather universities helping to develop each department. So there are a number of departments like this, which are part of the Fachhochschule, the upper half, and with the various Austrian universities involved, and then the postgraduate research centers, and we have cherry-picked. That's very interesting. For instance, the top university in minerals and mining in China is the China University of Mineral and Mining Technology. So they are setting up a mineral resource engineering center of excellence in Haripur. Similarly, the top university in China for transportation, high-speed railways engineering is the Jiotong University Group. So the Beijing Jiotong is setting up a center of excellence here. The top university in China, institution in China for artificial intelligence is the Shenzhen Institute of Advanced Technologies, along with others. So they are setting up the Center of Excellence in AI, etc., etc. So we have cherry-picked the best institutions within China, and they are setting up centers of excellence within Pakistan. So a multiple collaboration, one university in Pakistan offering dual degrees ultimately with 8 foreign universities. The same model is now being applied in Sialkot, where another university is under construction, a third in Islamabad, and I hope that by the time I'm 90, if I am 90, I have at least 10 universities like this in Pakistan. So I would like to just not take more of your time. I think the most important thing that I have learned in my life is that it's not running away from challenges. In a developing country, to set up a high-level research center is not easy. It requires a huge amount of effort, and you need to understand the systems, you have to work within the systems, and you have to then have projects approved, and that is through the government, and the government has to be taken along, and you have to have this network, strong network of collaborations. I will end just by one example, and that is India. Pakistan and India, unfortunately, have had difficult times in the past, and we've even had 3 wars. But we must build scientific bridges with these countries. We must develop collaboration. So I happen to be the president of the Pakistan Academy of Sciences, and I therefore talked to the president of the Indian National Science Academy, Krishan Lal, and I also talked to my colleagues, Professor C.N.R. Rao, Professor Govardhan Mehta, and a very large number of other top scientists. And then we decided to sign a collaborative agreement with India. And so the first major, this was a formal agreement, and it raised major eyes of major politicians in both countries. But I said, forget it, forget politics. It's science that has to build these bridges. It's science that must break through all the differences in this world. It is science that must be used to tackle the real problems of poverty and hunger and deprivation. So it must be science in action and science diplomacy. So we signed this agreement, and because India and China also had some tensions, so we then, this institute organized the first joint conference here involving China, India, and Pakistan. Gautam Desiraju from Bangalore headed the Indian delegation, and Professor Chundi Bai and his colleagues headed the Chinese delegation, and it was here, so it was the first tripartite conference. So let science build bridges between countries. There are enough of differences. We have to work together. And what you see here in this institute is the strong network of collaborations with people from Germany, from Asia, from Indonesia, from Malaysia, from Turkey, from Jordan, all working together for the pursuit of truth. That's what it's all about. So I don't want to take any more of your time. I just would like to repeat that I'm so humbled and grateful for all the wonderful remarks. I'm sure I don't deserve them. The real credit goes to the students and faculty and all the collaborators that I've had all these years across the world. And that is what drives me and inspires me to continue to work in the future. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I'm pleased to invite Professor Dr. Khalid Mahmood Sahib, Vice Chancellor, University of Karachi, for his talk.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Professor Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed, Chairman, Higher Education Commission, and the chief guest of this program, Professor Dr. Ataur Rahman Sahab, the birthday boy, and the chief patron of ICCBS, Dr. Rashida Sahiba, Chancellor, Hamdard University, Iqbal Chaudhry Sahab, foreign delegates, staff member, faculties, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. For me, it is indeed an honor to be part of this event, celebrating the 80th birthday of Ataur Rahman Sahab. I'm supposed to be the second last speaker. then I think Mukhtar Sahab will deliberate upon this particular event. I think before me, the speakers talk about Ataur Rahman Sahab and talk about a great scientist. For me, Ataur Rahman is a great human being. He has all the attributes to be a great human being. Ataur Rahman has worked in different capacity as the chairman, task force, or prime minister, minister for science and technology, and chairman higher education commission, and he worked with other universities to have a collaboration in the field of science, technology, and education. For me, Ataur Rahman is a result-oriented person. Most of the time, we have our plans on papers. And when we talk about the execution and implementation, we have difficulties. And if we fail to produce results, the plans are meaningless. So Ataur Rahman had the ability to have a vision and the problem-solving ability. The very few individuals that have this, the quality. He has the qualities of a great leader, motivating the young graduates and his colleague to take the mission further in the right direction. I am very much impressed with this institution, that is ICCBS. There are very few institutions in Pakistan which can claim a center of excellence. And I see ICCBS being recognized not only at the national level, but at international level as well. And I think the credit goes to the legend of this institute, starting from Salim Uzama Siddiqui, then Ataur Rahman Sahab spending almost all of his life for this particular center, and my brother, Dr. Iqbal Chaudhry, for taking this mission and establishing this institution. I see Ataur Rahman Sahab, a person who believes in institution building. Institution building on the basis of merit. Institution building on the basis of excellence. Institution building on the basis of setting certain high standards. And that's what he mentioned about the awards, around more than 28 awards of this faculty of this center. I think this is what the institutions are all about. I believe Ataur Rahman is himself an institution, not only creating institution, but setting an example as an institution. And I'm very happy that with this effort, we have collaboration in African states, we have collaboration with the Western world, we have collaboration with the different parts of the globally, we have this partnership. And he has rightly said, science is about bridging the gap. Science is about taking care of our socio-economic development. It's about human beings. It's about the welfare of human beings. The COVID-19 is a good example, hitting not only Pakistan, but globally. And then the whole scientist community engaged in that particular area. So I am particularly thankful to our foreign dignitaries visiting Pakistan, and I must appreciate your contribution. I hope your deliberation will benefit our faculty members and students, and we create a more linkage in terms of international collaboration. Dr. Saab, happy birthday. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I'm very pleased to invite Professor Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed Sahib, our chief guest, Chairman, Higher Education Commission, Pakistan, for his online address.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Honorable Dr. Ataur Rahman Sahab, I should not say the birthday boy. I think we should say it is a birthday boy, basically. You are still young, sir. Alhamdulillah. Before I should, and of course, our Honorable Vice Chancellor from University of Karachi, Dr. Iqbal Sahab, Sadia Bibi, and other colleagues, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. I'm humble and honored that on this very important event of 80th birthday of Professor Ataur Rahman, I have been asked to be part of this very important session. I wish I was in Karachi, but due to certain commitments here at the government level because of the flood, they have asked me to be with the disaster management team here to work with the collaboration of different universities. That's up. Before I should say a few things of our experience working with you. I have another deputy, Professor Dr. Muhammad Salim Akhtar Saab from Lahore. He has asked me to read his message for you. So if you allow me, I quote, and meanwhile, I will also share with you a few pictures of your old picture where with HEC, so that you should also remember that good time you had with us. So we'll go parallelly so that I want to manage the time in a way that nobody should wait. So I will now, Professor, this is a message from, tribute from Dr. Muhammad Salim Akhtar Saab for Professor Dr. Ataur Rahman. And I quote, it brings me a great pleasure today on the auspicious occasion of 80th birthday of a kind, compassionate, and very considerate human being. I wish to say a few words to honor him, which may not do full justice. Professor Ataur Rahman has far too many awards and achievements to mention few. I will highlight the ones I find most meaningful. As an organic chemist, he has had an exemplary academic career working along with the world-renowned faculty and scientists at the University of Cambridge and Geneva. As a federal minister and chairman of the Higher Education Commission, he has tirelessly led efforts to strengthen our scientific and educational institution and groom our future generations. He has likewise built strong linkages with scientific academics and institutions across Asia and the Muslim world, and won the International Scientific Cooperation Award by the Chinese Academy of Sciences. He has helped and brought great improvements to the Pakistan Academy of Sciences, but the most of all, I have found Professor Dr. Ataur Rahman to be the selfless, patriot, and always forgiving person and a genuine human being. May Allah bless him with many more years of profound success and happiness. Professor Dr. Salim Akhtar Stara Imtiaz, and I unquote. Thank you, Excellencies. Thank you, Professor Ataur Rahman, and happy birthday to you from all of us, especially the higher education sector and Higher Education Commission, your old colleagues. The baby which were created by you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you this opportunity that you should do so many good things for Pakistan, whether it was the, of course, I will not talk about your subject area because so much has already been said about your contribution in the field of chemistry, phytochemistry. And I don't know, because we were so much busy when we are working with you. And I always used to say, if somebody has worked with Dr. Ataur Rahman, he can work even in Siberia. So I have the honor of working with you almost 8 years plus when you are here as chairman, and I joined in January 2005, Dr. as member operation planning. If you recall, in the last few months of the 2004, when I was called for interview, so you asked me one question, Dr. Mukhtar, if I'll give you 15 million rupees, what you will do? And I replied, Dr. Atta, if I have to work with you, this is peanut. So that is how we started. And then, alhamdulillah, it was a very busy and kind of a team effort. And you rightly said that Naqvi was leading from the secretariat side, and I was accompanying. We were having a wonderful team under your leadership. And alhamdulillah, in Pakistan, the Higher Education Commission has contributed in a humble way. And that is why we are here in the world, being seen as the emerging country with the science and technology, and of course in higher education sector. It is an honor for me that I work with you, and I cherish this working under you, and I still believe that we are still continuing taking those torch you enlightened us here, and we are trying to build on those initiatives which you initiated way back in 2002 and onward till the time you were here as chairman with HEC, and you're still with us. Alhamdulillah, now you are the member of our commission and contributed in a big way. And whenever we had some issue, Dr. Saab was always, and I will not kind of comment on his academic contribution. That is already, mashallah, nobody can doubt it. But I do want to mention here his leadership role. And he's a doer. I can still remember when he was coming from any international or domestic visit. So he was immediately when he was entering his office, he was calling me and asking, here are those piece of paper when you are writing on during your flight, okay, we have to do these new project. And you are giving me those papers that please bring those project immediately so that we should deliver. And working with you was always 24/7, basically. We never had rest, basically. And that has still given us energy that we still contribute today in this sector. Sir, may Allah give you healthy life. Let me remind you also one event when your late mother was hospitalized in Shifa Hospital, and we came to see and ask about her health, and you were sitting outside the chair with a book and reviewing, and also a lot of papers in front of you, and you were correcting the English and other thing there. And that was amazing scene. I have seen that his mother is at the deathbed, still he's working outside hospital. So you are a great person, Dr. Saab. May Allah bless you. May Allah give you healthy life and more prosperity. And you should lead Pakistan, inshallah, in the field of higher education and science and technology. God bless you, sir. Happy birthday again from HEC's team. HEC, your team hold 600 plus people here, and all education institutions, especially 244 universities in Pakistan. May Allah bless you, sir. Pakistan Zindabad. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Our chief guest, Professor Dr. Mukhtar, has sent a token of appreciation. And to present it, I request Javed Mehman Sahab, Regional Director, HEC, to kindly present the flower bouquet to sir. Professor Dr. Amal from Jordan, he has also brought a gift for sir. So I request him to kindly come. Now Professor Amal is presenting a token of appreciation.
That you present friends in Jordan, especially made from Badaba, which is the
It's a tree of life. Now I request Professor Dr. Muhammad Iqbal Chaudhry, Director ICCBS, to kindly present a gift from Sir's close associate and colleague in China, Professor Jiao Ping from Shanghai Tiao University.
This came from China.
Yeah, it is a bull, and they have, sort of called Saratharaman as a bull.
Oh, it's like 20 kgs.
Sir, I request you to kindly remain here as we are now, making the history for the cake cutting ceremony. I request all the dignitaries to kindly come and join sir in the cake cutting.
Our foreign guest, please.
Foreign guest also.
Cake image. Okay, so this is the image of the cake we have prepared for sir.
You don't think you're a foreigner? No, I feel like it's home.
I request all the foreigners to kindly come. Sir Zaidi, I request Dr. Zaidi Sahab, Dr. Mujib, Mahmood Alam Sahab, Professor Habib. Professor Habib, I also request you to kindly So can we all sing the birthday song together? Yes? Okay. Happy birthday to you. Do we have Yen here? I think she's not here.
Okay.
One more time. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear sir. Happy birthday to you. फरीन केक कटिंग सर के खिलाने के लिए प्लेट फरीन We have meanwhile Fareen is bringing plate, so we have some other foreigners who want to present gifts to sir. They can come forward. Sir Malik presenting gift to Sarath Rahman. Card. Someone? Card.
Who is responsible of
Okay, now Professor Iqbal is presenting a card, birthday card signed by all faculty members of the ICCPS and a flower bouquet.
from Kazakhstan?
Okay, so this is from Kazakhstan.
There's a message also.
Yeah.
No, but you can give it to me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a long message. I don't want everybody to make. Thank you so much. Very grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, Syed Aftab Hussain Zaidi Sahab is presenting a token of appreciation to Sir Rahman. Now, Professor Dr. Jamshed Iqbal Sahab is presenting token of appreciation to Sir. I'm sorry, I don't know the name. Dr. Chaudhry, and now Murtaza Noor Sahab is presenting gift. Professor Dr. Khalid Mahmood Iraqi sahib, we see University of Karachi presenting it. So now this cake will go to sir's home and we can have a group photo. Please come forward. If faculty wants to join, they can quickly come and join.
And some of you can go down, so foreign guests, please come. Yes.
Please join. Please, sir. Madam is coming, please wait.
Okay. Very nice. Thank you.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, now we have prepared a series of posters to pay tribute to Professor Azhar Rahman. And the poster session is in the Golden Jubilee Hall and reception is also set to be served there. So you all are requested to kindly proceed to the Golden Jubilee Hall. Talba talbaat aapne wahi karna hai jo hamesha karte hain.
Thank you very much. We all have to return back at 11:45 precisely because we have another inauguration. It's a continuation of the felicitation ceremonies, and this is the second conference which starts at 11:45. So everybody is requested to come back. So we have 45 minutes, actually 50 minutes.